Hey, good day. Welcome back to another video. Today's video, I'm going to tell you about a World War II Marine who got wounded on Peleliu, and I'm going to tell you about his service time in the war. I'll show you his uniform and his footlocker I got with the grouping, and I got his personal copy of his personal file. So we're going to go through the file, and I'll tell you a little bit about this Marine. So here we go. All right, now we'll take a look at his uniform. We'll start off with the cover here. Navy and Marines call the hats covers. We don't call them hats. There's the EGA. Still in good condition. Moving on to the color EGAs. EGA is an Eagle, Globe, and Anchor, if you didn't know. His shirt and tie. Down here for his ribbons. On the left there is the Purple Heart. In the middle, you got the President, the Marine Corps, Navy Marine Corps Presidential Unit Citation, and it has 1 star on it, which is what it meant it was issued twice. And there on the right is the Asiatic Pacific Campaign Medal with 4 stars on it, which means he was in 4 campaigns. And moving down, here's a picture of him. Came with his belt. And we'll get a close-up of the buttons here. And moving on to the children patch. 1st Marine Division, Guadalcanal. And at the time, he was a private 1st class. But that's a nice view of his uniform with his cover. And on the other side, it's also got the private 1st class stripe on it. Now I'll show you the footlocker now. Nice footlocker. Got a little artwork on it. All right, here's the footlocker that came with the uniform. It's got handle right there. And got 1 handle on the other side. But the one on this side don't have a handle. I don't think it ever did. But it's got a closure lock right there. And this here, I don't have a key to it. That's the lock. It's got a key that goes in here, and you can also put a padlock right there. But I don't want to close that. I don't want to take a chance from not getting it open. But on top of it, got his name, his address, and on the other side, see a little bit of artwork. Dixie Lee. I'll show you the inside of it. It's got a tray on the inside. None of this belonged to him. It's just some of my storage I have. All right, that's his footlocker. All right, one more thing we got here is the campaign cover. This came in a footlocker, so I imagine that was his. Close up here, the EGA. We'll take a look at the inside of it here. All right, now we'll get into a copy of his service record. It came in a nice notebook like this, and on the front, they got a picture of him, just like the one on the uniform that they made a copy of. Now we'll get in here and get some information on him. All right, his name was William Samuel COUTTS, serial number 350998. He was born in June 1921, and he's from Smokekin, Pennsylvania. Forgive me if I said that wrong. And he was employed as a truck driver. He was single, brown eyes, brown hair, and roughly 160 pounds, a little over 5 feet tall. And he was a heavy equipment driver in the CCC in 1938 to 1939. Now, the CCC is the Civilian Conservation Corps. And he enlisted in Philadelphia in January 6, 1942, and he was assigned to the 7th RCC Recruit Training Battalion, Parris Island, South Carolina, on 7 January 1942. He joined the 1st Anti-Aircraft Machine Gun Battery, 1st Marine Division at New River, North Carolina, February 14, 1942. And he joined the Headquarters and Service Battery, Special Weapons Battalion, 1st Marine Division, February 1942. He was promoted to PFC on April 1st, 1942. And then it goes on. He participated in the invasion of Guadalcanal on 7 August, 1942. And on 15 December 1942, they sailed aboard the USS American Legion from Guadalcanal, Solomon Islands, and arrived in Australia on 19th and disembarked on the 20th. So they got the he got the Presidential Unit Citation on 4 February 1943. And February 1943 was recommended for promotion to corporal for maintaining an excellent record with no offenses. That'll soon change. His principal MOS was a half-track driver, 734, which has been the MOS, March 1943. And then he joined the 1st Battery E, 1st Special Weapons Battalion on March 1943. He was promoted to corporal on 15 May 1943. And then they went on to sail. They arrived in New Guinea and disembarked on October 1943. And for some unknown reason, October 15th to October 29th, November 1943, time lost for unknown reason. Let's see, on 24 December 1943, embarked aboard the USS George S. Thomas in New Guinea and sailed on the 25th. He disembarked at Cape Sudet, New Guinea, and transferred to an unnamed LST and sailed on 28th. They arrived and disembarked at Cape Gloucester, New Britain, and participated in actions against the enemy. He was court-martialed on 15 March 1944 for disrespectful language to a superior officer. And incident occurred on 10 March 1944. He was sentenced to reduction to PFC and performed extra duty for 1 month. And April 1944, they embarked on the USS Wayne at Cape Gloucester and arrived at Pavuvu in the Russell Islands. He joined the Weapons Company C, 5th Marines, 1st Marine Division, 20 May 1944. And then he took part in the invasion of Peleliu on the Palau Islands. He was wounded in action, shrapnel in the neck, September 1944. And he got the Purple Heart on 10 November 1944. Let's see. And a little bit more here. In April 1945, he married in I can't even say that. Sorry about that. Shamokin, Pennsylvania, to Mary Dolores Kessler. He was court-martialed again 25 April 1945 for neglect of duty. Incident occurred on 24 April 1945. Sentenced to perform extra duty for 1 month and loss of a $10 pay. Honorably discharged February 1946. Now here's these, this is like a WW2 He was a truck driver with an MOS of 734. And then it says here, half-track driver, 734. He drove 4.5-ton trucks with 5 forward speeds, long and short hauls, day and night driving, minor repairs, gasoline engines. And then the rest of this stuff is like for pay. And just all kinds of information in here. This is just stuff that I already told you. And here's the front of the service record book. And then it's just got his fingerprints. This here is professional and conduct record. And then this here is the basic training record, you know, for satisfactory for what he had to go through. This is for pay records. And then occupational qualification record. And this here is like, let's see, for marriage license. Hope the glare is not too bad on this paper. And here's what I wanted to show you here. It's, let me see here. Yeah, here's a letter to his parents. I regret to inform you of the report just received that your son, Private First Class William COUTTS, U.S. Marine Corps, sustained a shrapnel wound of the neck in action against the enemy on September 26, 1944 at Peleliu in the Palau Islands. And it's signed by some major. And here's an application for life insurance. And just stuff about his transfers, promotions. Here's his copy of "You are hereby appointed Private First Class." And down here it says temporary in the line. There's his age certificate. That's all you had back then, because you didn't have a birth certificate, and all you had to do was lie, and they would take you in. Let's see, here's where he's buried. Burial place, a veteran. It's got his name, and he died in 1984 in the Marine Corps, PFC, and Pomfret Manor, and he was cremated in Sunbury, Pennsylvania. And here's some newspaper articles. They enlarged a little bit. With Uncle Sam's Armed Forces, Private First Class William S. COUTTS, Jr. of the United States Marine Corps, stationed in the Solomon Islands, according to a letter received today by his parents. And then here's some ancestry. This gives just a lot of stuff I already told you about him. Where he's buried and wounded in action. There's another from when he arrived in Australia. Word has been received here by relatives of William S. COUTTS, U.S. Marine Corps, that he has arrived in Australia. He has recently been promoted to corporal. Corporal COUTTS served several months on Guadalcanal prior to his transfer to Australia. And here it's saying he was wounded in action in an undisclosed theater of operations. All are members of the United States Marine Corps. They are William Myrto, Williamsport, Pennsylvania, PFC William S. COUTTS, Shamokin, Pennsylvania, and John Kelly, Carlisle, Pennsylvania. All right, I hope you enjoyed that. That's, like I said, anytime you get records with a uniform, that just makes the history on it come to life. It's always nice to have information like this. That's just a lot of information there. And one more time, there's this picture. All right, that's it. Hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching, and have a good weekend. See you on the next video.